everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a new reading vlog. I am going to be reading 3 books that I feel like have gotten a lot of hype recently, or that people are really excited for, and I'm really excited for them as well. I was looking at them and I wanted to read them really soon anyway, so I thought why not just vlog the experience and see if they're worth the hype. I'm not going to tell you exactly what books I'm reading because one of them is prone to change, but the first book that I'm going to be reading is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and I'm really excited for this. I haven't read anything by Ashley Poston before. I know she wrote The Dead Romantics as well, and apparently that was really good, but I never ended up like picking it up. I think there's some like time travel or like flashbacks. There's something to do with time in here anyway, and it's a romance, and I'm really intrigued. I'm going to be starting this one tonight. I think it is really late right now. I have just spent like the past couple of hours just moving furniture, and I am so tired, but I'm feeling really good about it. So I am eager to just like sit down, take my makeup off, do my skincare, relax and read, and I'm sure I will update you pretty soon when I actually pick up the book. Hello everybody, so I am reading The 7-Year Slip and I am up to page 104 or chapter 12. Initially going into this I was a little bit unsure, and that's sort of how I felt about The Dead Romantics as well. Just like I don't know, there's just something about the premise of these books that I don't know if I would vibe with, but like I'm really enjoying this. So far in the book, this woman Clementine has moved into her aunt's place, and it goes into her history with her and her aunt as well, and like how they traveled the world together. And there's something mysterious going on with where she lives, and one day she goes back into her apartment after coming home from work one day, and she finds a man there just randomly, and he is 7 years in the past. He knows her aunt. We are exploring a little bit between the main guy, Iwan, I think his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but we are getting to know him and Clementine and how they interact together. He really likes cooking, and I have a feeling I sort of know where this is going because of something that happened at the start of the book, but I'm not too sure. Like, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where this is going. But I don't even mind so far, just because like the interactions between the two characters are really sweet so far, and it's just like really fun to read, and the sort of supernatural twist as well is really fun and well done with this so far as well. For the first like 20 or so pages I was kind of like I don't know, but now that I'm into it, like I am into it, I'm really enjoying it. But I'm going to continue. I don't know when I'll update you next, but I'm sure I will soon, and I'll let you know how it goes. Hello, so I am up to page 227 of The 7-Year Slip. I've been flying through this. I've not wanted to put this down. Unfortunately, I have put it down because I had work today, but I am enjoying this so much. It is like, it's taken a direction I wasn't expecting, but I really like the plot, and it has delved into some topics that I wasn't expecting it to delve into, and I have a feeling it's probably going to delve into more, especially between Clementine and Iwan, and like their interactions. I love it so much. Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail because spoilers, but it's not what I was expecting, but I'm having the most fun time. I cried a little bit today on my lunch break while reading this. I laughed out loud. Like, it's just really, really good. Also, I ended up dog earing this page because I wanted to remember it, and I read it at like 11 p.m. last night in bed. So if you've been in the book community for a few years now, especially on Bookstagram or Book Twitter, you might remember a little incident with a book subscription box, and it was called Dick Soapgate, and it was a whole thing. There are booktube videos on it. If you Google it, I'm sure it's gonna come up with something. Like, it's on Twitter as well. Like, it was everywhere and it was hilarious. And it references it in this book, and I wasn't expecting that. And it references it at the beginning of chapter 14, and I love it so much. Like, it's like a little nod to the book community. It sounds ridiculous when you read about it in this book, but like, it happened. It was a thing. It was a Sarah J Maas subscription book box, by the way, if you're curious. I just love that it was mentioned. It was so funny. Yeah, I am having so much fun with this. I've only got that much left, so I think I'm probably going to finish this tonight. I think I've got like exactly 100 pages left to read of this, and I'm really excited. I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook for a little bit while I do some things around the house tonight, and I'll let you know when I finished it. But yeah, so far I'm really, really loving this. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be like a 5-star read, but I am really enjoying this. This is like worth the hype to me so far, and it's making me want to pick up her other book. So I finished the 7-Year Slip, and I really, really love this so much. I was definitely crying towards the end. It really explores grief in a really beautiful way, and like the relationship in this book as well is so beautiful. And I love Iwan, I love Clementine, and like each of their character development, and it explores sort of embracing change kind of even as you get older, and like understanding that that's okay. And I just really, really enjoyed it. I decided to give this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5-star rating is because I do wish that we got a little bit more between Iwan and Clementine. Like, we didn't actually see a lot of interaction between those two, but apart from that, like, I loved it so much, and I'm definitely going to check out The Dead Romantics. I definitely like get why people love this book so much and love Ashley Poston's writing. Also, I didn't realize until later that Ashley Poston wrote Geekerella, which I think came out 5 or 6 years ago now, and I never ended up reading that one, but I was very excited for it, and I did unhaul it like ages ago. But I just thought that was interesting because I remember seeing like so much hype about that series and like never actually picking it up, but like now there's all this hype about like her latest 2 novels, and like, I get it. They're so good. It was just a beautiful, beautiful book and very well written. So I'm thinking of starting the next book. I don't know. Actually, no, I probably won't start it tonight because I do have to get to sleep before work tomorrow. But I do think I'm going to start Powerless next, just because I am super, oh my god. It's got like flowers or like leaves or something, and I was so confused. I was like, what is wrong with my book? But it's just the artwork. Anyway, I am going to start Powerless next just because I'm in a fantasy mood, and I'm really excited for this one. So I probably won't be starting this one tonight because it is 11:30 p.m. but I will be starting this tomorrow and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm really happy with that first book for this video. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect going in. Like, I was so apprehensive, but I loved it so much. It was really good. And hopefully I end up loving Powerless as well, because I've seen so much hype for this. Hello. So I don't think I have given an update since I started Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I am not very far into it. I'm only up to chapter 5 or page 38. And so far it's like fine. It's not anything like special so far, but I don't think I have said on camera what this is about. So in this world there are kind of two main factions of people, or two main groups of people. The elites, who are people who survived this plague that overtook the country or the world, and now they have powers. And I think this can vary a lot. We haven't seen really a lot of like variation of powers yet, but I think we're probably going to see more of that later on in the book. And then there are the group of people who survive the plague but they don't have any powers, and they are called the Ordinary. And the Ordinary are basically just a lower class of people, and they also just get treated like shit, and the king tries to kill them, I'm pretty sure, like wipe them out. The main character, Payton, she pretends to be a psychic, which is one of the lower level of the people who have powers. According to the synopsis, she ends up entering these games, or like getting forced into these trials, which apparently the elites, or like the people with powers, take part of. And it's like a chance to win a lot of money, and a lot of them would, you know, use that money to get out of poverty, but the rich and powerful end up winning it anyway. So it's kind of like, it gives me like a Hunger Games vibe, but like we haven't actually gotten to that part yet. Oh, also this is dual point of view as well. So there's Payton, who is the Ordinary, and then the love interest is Kai, I think his name, I can't remember. He basically like hunts down ordinaries for the king. So I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of enemies to lovers situation, but so far we have just kind of seen from each of their perspective a little tiny bit. Yeah, so far it's fine. The writing's fine, everything's fine. I'm excited to see what I think about it. I'm hoping to get more into it really soon. I do have a busy week planned ahead, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done this week. Who knows? I'll update you when I can. I'll probably update you when I've actually read like a decent chunk, and I'll let you know how I'm feeling. I have just been rambling for like 10 minutes now, so I will see you in a minute and update you probably in a few days for me, but like a second for you. I am up to chapter 9 or page 74 of Powerless. Like, so far it's just feeling like a really generic fantasy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we have seen the main character do some really cool stuff already, and her and the main love interest Kai have officially at least met at this point. And I definitely see how there's going to be tension between the two, because like they are just literally like they're destined to be enemies. Like, that's just how their characters are. I am hoping, I'm pretty sure we're getting into the trials soon, which I'm looking forward to. And the main character has just found out that she's going to be a part of the trials, or that she's been chosen for the trials. I don't know, it just feels like a very like average YA fantasy so far, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just like not as like amazingly incredible as I was expecting right off the bat, but I do have a decent chunk to go. Hello, so I haven't updated this vlog in a while. It has been a few days at least. I just dropped my sister off to go. She's been staying with me for this week and it's just been so good because I barely get to see her and it's just been really good. But today has like not been a good day. One, because I dropped my sister off and like I said goodbye to her, but also like some other things happened. I'm not gonna get into it, but I wanted to give you a little reading update for Powerless. So I'm up to page 166 or 167 and I'm so bored. Like, I was expecting so much more from this and like we haven't reached the trials yet. So hopefully those are more entertaining. So far, like with Peyton, I just like, there's nothing particularly wrong with her. I just like don't care about her character. Like I feel like she's like copied and pasted from so many other books, which is really unfair to say because to an extent like so many books are like that. I don't know, there's just something about this book that just seems like something I've read before, but like a more watered down version of something I've read before, if that makes any sense. Like I cannot stop comparing this to the Hunger Games, and not in like a, oh, every YA book is like the Hunger Games sort of comparison. I mean literally, like there are scenes that are almost exactly the same as they are in the Hunger Games are in this book, but like done in like a worse way. And like there's a scene where, you know, they televise like the interviews of the participants of the trials, and the interviewer, you know, has like fun colored hair as well, just like Caesar. It's just little things like that that is really like grinding on me. I don't know what it is about the writing, but it doesn't really vibe with me at all. And I think because like a lot of the action seems to be missing, or like the build up for action seems to be missing. For example, on page 161, Peyton is kind of on a new floor of the castle that she hasn't been on yet, and she's telling the reader that she has explored a bunch of the floors before by creeping out of her room multiple times in the dead of the night, like to learn the layout of the castle and the possible exits and stuff, which is fine. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like, why aren't we seeing this? Like, I would love to just be able to see the layout of the castle and like, are there like secret passageways or anything like that? Like there might not be, which is why it's not like written into the story, but it would still just be cool to kind of see that, or like discover that with Peyton instead of learning about it after the fact, like weeks after apparently. So it's just like little things like that here and there that I just like really not holding my attention. I really don't want to DNF this. I really want to give this more of a chance because I've heard so many good things about it, but like so far it is just not doing it for me at all. I bought myself, because I was sad today, Australians will know what this is, but I got yogos for myself. I got strawberry and chocolate, and I should probably only eat one of them, but I'm probably gonna eat both. So I'm gonna eat my yogos and I'm gonna read Powerless, or continue to read Powerless, and like I'm really hoping it picks up. So I am up to page 416 or chapter 51. I am really close to finishing this book, so I've got about that much left. I am enjoying it more now, but that's not to say that I like this book. It wasn't until around probably page 300 that I actually started getting interested in what was happening, and even then, like, I almost DNF'd this. Like, I was so close to just like putting this down, and the only reason I didn't is because I wanted to read it for this video. I just really don't enjoy the writing style. Like, it feels really choppy and all over the place. Like, the pace is really weird because it almost feels like we get time skips like within the same paragraph almost, and I don't think that's intentional. And it's just like, it's really, I don't know, it really takes me out of it and like takes my immersion away. Like I feel like as soon as I'm getting into something, I read another like sentence and I'm like, hang on a minute, like how did we get here, like what is happening? And like, for example, this isn't too spoilery, so don't worry. It says, I sling the belt and sheath low on my waist before drawing the sword to chop through the thick foliage. Almost there. The ground is covered in shadows and I now have a rabbit that needs to be cooked along with a stomach that needs to be fed. Like 1 minute she's chopping through, like the assumption is that she's obviously hunted a rabbit, and that doesn't necessarily need to be written for us or like written explicitly, but it just, that alongside with everything else just makes it feel really choppy. Now I'm repeating myself, and the writing just does not do it for me. It feels very like bad YA from like 2012 or 2013. Like it's just giving me those vibes, and it's really throwing me out of it. Like I just can't bring myself to enjoy it. And I know that, you know, we're supposed to be rooting for the characters and their relationship and stuff, but it just all feels very surface level. The characters feel surface level, the plot feels surface level, the world building feels surface level. It's just, it's not enough, and yet there's still so many words on the page, and I don't understand how this is like a 500-page book. I saw a couple of TikToks from the author and she seems lovely. She compares the book, or she took heavy inspiration from The Hunger Games and Red Queen, which I can definitely see, but I feel like, and I've said this before in previous clips, but there are so many scenes in this that are just like straight up like worse versions of what was written in The Hunger Games. It just doesn't do it in a way that makes it feel unique. Like it still just feels like a rip-off version, and like it's not done as well or like better than. I feel like I'm sounding really unfair, but just like this is just, yeah, it's really unenjoyable, and I've been struggling to get through this like so much. Oh yeah, I'm over it, but I only have like just under 100 pages to go, so hopefully I finish it tonight, because I don't want to start off my October reading this book. This feels like a 2-star read, maybe like a 1.5-star read for me, if I'm being honest, just because I have not enjoyed my time reading this. This has been a slog to get through for me personally, but we'll see how the ending goes. We'll see if it's like a twist or anything and keeps my excitement up, but so far I have just been really struggling with this book. Okay, so I finished Powerless, and I think I'm gonna go with a 2 out of 5-star rating for this one, because like the ending was probably the most exciting part about the entire book. There were a lot of, you know, really like quotable, beautiful lines thrown in there, and that's all well and good, and I know people will love that, and you know, it's like the kind of line that you annotate and you're like, oh my god, wow. But like everything else outside of that, like even the sentences before those lines are just like, they're not good. And it's really trope heavy, which like honestly isn't really a criticism from me, because like I don't mind tropes. Like that's not even my main issue with this book. My main issue is just like how like underwhelming everything was, and I just wish there was more like character development, and like I just felt no attachment to the characters whatsoever. So yeah, 2 out of 5 stars. I'm so glad I'm finally finished this book. Like I cannot even tell you, I am like this close to getting in a reading slump because of this book. So I'm so glad I'm done with it. Tomorrow I think I was gonna possibly wait until My Roommate is a Vampire comes out on October 3rd, but I kind of just want to start a new book tomorrow and then start my October TBR like ASAP. So I'm going to read The Long Game by Elena Ames because I'm really excited for that. I really enjoyed her first book and then I really did not like her second book. I'm gonna go to bed because I have work tomorrow and I'm tired and it's late, but I will get a start on the next book tomorrow. Hello, I just wanted to give a quick update. I think I said last night before I went to sleep that I was going to start The Long Game by Elena Ames, but like I just kind of want to read Assistant to the Villain, and honestly I feel like this one has been more hyped up than this one anyway, and like I just can't stop thinking about wanting to read this. I'm just like really excited about it. And yeah, if I'm being honest, like I've seen this more around recently than I have seen this one anyway. So I think I'm gonna read this one just because like I need something, I need to feel excited again for a book, and I really, really hope I love this one because I was really hoping to love Powerless, but obviously that didn't happen. This is only going to be a quick little update to tell you of my changed mind because I do have work today. I had last week off, which was amazing. I got to hang out with my sister, but it's back to work today. So I have got to run, but I wanted to update you with this, and I'll start this one today and I'll let you know. I have read 138 pages of Assistant to the Villain. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm in the same spot as I was last time when I finished Powerless. I don't know whether it was just me having to get used to the style of writing for this book or whether I was still just like the feeling after finishing Powerless. I was just like not in the mood for anything, but like I didn't want to like let it put me in a reading slump, but I just like I was struggling to even like want to pick up a book. Yeah, so I don't know whether it was that or whether the writing is just like a little bit like sillier in this book, but it suits the tone of the book overall. But I am now 20 chapters into this and it's so much fun. Like I really like the characters, I like the world as well. Like it's very silly and I feel like I kind of know where it's going, but also I can't really make any predictions because if you don't know what this is about a woman named Evie who is, you know, the sole kind of money provider in her house, and she has just lost her job recently, but then she bumps into who was known as the villain, literally, and she ends up being employed by him as his personal assistant, and we just kind of like get to see them interact together, like see the work that she does for him. And there's also like a mystery aspect throughout this book as well so far. Like someone is trying to kill the villain, we don't know who, and like someone who works for him is a traitor, and we're trying to work that out. And it's not like it's what I expected in terms of like tone and everything, but I wasn't really expecting like a fun little like mystery. And also like the villain he is in denial about his crush on Evie. Like it's so cute to read because you get a dual POV throughout this as well. And yeah, so far it's just really fun. Like I am just, once I got into this, like, I'm kind of like kicking my feet giggling, and it's just, it's funny as well, and it's like well written. So I'm really enjoying it so far. Hello, buddy. Okay. This is on camera as well. You're so rude. Hello. I can't read. Oh, Buddy's my bookmark. Yes, you are. So I ended up finishing Assistant to the Villain. I ended up having so much fun with this. I really enjoyed this. I have given it 4 out of 5 stars. And at first, I feel like it was a little bit slower to get into. After you got into like the first like 50 or so pages with this, it just gets more and more exciting. I would categorize this more like a cozy fantasy than anything. And even with the romance in here, like, there's not actually a lot of like romance, like spice, if you will, in here. So like, if you're expecting that going into here, just don't, because it just isn't in the book. But like the actual like tension between the characters, it was so good. And just, I love how obsessed the villain is with Evie, and how you just get to see both of them sort of like falling for each other more and more throughout the book, and it's just really well done. The writing is really fun, the whole book is really fun, and a lot of it like is funny, but I would say not laugh out funny, at least not for me. But there were bits and pieces, especially towards the end, where I did find myself laughing out loud. The book seems kind of self-aware with the fact that, you know, like, he does do like evil things, but also like that he's not an evil character, but then he technically is. I don't know how to describe it. I have a headache, so just forgive me for not articulating myself very well. But yeah, I don't know, it was just, I really enjoyed how the characters were presented, and I just had lots of fun with this. And the ending, there was a big plot twist at the end, and I didn't realize that this wasn't a standalone. And so there's like a book 2 coming out, and I want book 2 now, but this has only just come out. So like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to wait a year for this. It was just really fun. And like, there's a frog in here, like a magical frog. And he was like one of the characters that made me laugh the most, because he has like a little sign, and he just like puts up like one-worded like responses to like the things that are going on around him. And it's just, I don't know, I think like it's silly goofy, but it's well done, and it all just fits together. If you're after like a silly cozy fantasy that still has like a decent plot, and you know, like a really good like romance between the characters, but it doesn't, again, it doesn't have spice. I just want to be clear of that. But it's, yeah, I recommend this. It is so much fun. I really liked it. The only reason this didn't get 5 stars is because of the slow beginning, but if it wasn't like so slow at the start, this would have been 5 out of 5 stars easily. But finishing this means that I have finished this video. So I ended up reading The 7-Year Slip, which I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. I read Powerless, which honestly, I'm still tossing up between like 1.5 and 2 stars for this one, just because like this almost ruined my entire reading for the month. If this wasn't like more than a 3-star read, I would have been very upset because this has like saved me and like makes me want to pick up more books. but I was this close to being in a really big reading slump just because this just, yeah. Anyway, you saw my thoughts on that. And then, yeah, 4 stars for that one. So I think overall a success. And I do think that, especially like with this one, I'm glad I decided to pick this one up instead of The Long Game, because I still have continued to see more hype about this than the other one. And I'm so glad I picked this one up. But I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more sorts of videos like this, let me know, because I don't know, I wasn't even intending to do a video like this. I just like got those books recently and I saw a lot of hype around them and I was really excited to like read them straight away. So that's kind of what inspired this video. But if you have any other suggestions or any other books you want me to read and try out, please let me know. I'll leave all of my socials down in the description box for you as well if you want to check them out. I've got a Twitter and a Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below as well. It would really help me out. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all next time. Bye.